What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 20 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Drazhoath the Ashen Old World campaign. So as we saw last time, or perhaps as we sort of left off last time, I did end the turn and the Slaves of Zharr, which we are very much on the verge of wiping out, have decided to actually sally out and attack us, which means we'll be starting this episode off with a nice little battle. It's Black Orcs, it's Biggins, it's Boar Boys, etc. against the Hobgobs and the not high veterancy Hobgobs at that. So we'll see whether we can handle these guys. Pyrrhic victory and medium casualties does mean that it'll probably be a fairly decent fight, and I'm sure we'll have to rely on the Hobhound Ravagers to deal with a lot of the enemies, but they probably wouldn't stand too much of a chance against Boar Boys without multiple units, though. I guess we're gonna have to see, because we do have Hobgob Khans to lead them after all. Anyway, before we get started, unfortunately we did not reach the engagement threshold this time around, and while this will still be a long episode, as I like to do a little bit of a grace period of an episode or two, if the engagement threshold continues to not be met, we'll be returning to the sort of a regular 30-minute, 40-minute episodes. This is normal for campaigns, so just keep it in mind, but as campaigns age out and as interest drops, this does tend to occur. This also means that we'll probably be sort of, I'd say, switching to a little bit more objective gaming here. I have a tendency to focus more on having fun and screwing around rather than going directly for campaign objectives, but this does mean a little bit of a switch towards wiping out Goldtooth and Imric, which are our short victory conditions, as well as looking to fight those drill fights and unlock the final battle. Still will take a while, I'm sure, but that is, them's the breaks. Anyway, for now, though, we have more fun stuff to consider, which is this fight of orcs versus hobgobs. Let's see which green is superior. Go. Alright, here we go. Still very weird to not hear any speech from the modded lords, but that's alright. It's at least nice to have the Khans to lead the piles of hobgobs. And speaking of piles of hobgobs, well, let's see what they can do. We've got quite a lot of them here, and while they cannot fight with orcs on par, they will probably be able to outnumber them, especially the enemy back line with all of the range and melee cav coming in. Anyway, I'm going to speed this up a little bit while the enemy moves towards us and get ready to start firing with our bolt throwers to start the day. And they're not going to be able to do too much to the enemy infantry, but there are a few decent targets for them, like the enemy cav and the enemy single entities. But of course we do have to wait until they get into range, so we'll explode a few of the enemy goblins here. And yeah, so yeah, okay, it does look like every single hit from a bolt and does only kill off one single unit. Once again, they're not an anti-infantry type of thing. Although I suppose if the enemy had like a unit of aspiring champions, obviously if we were fighting chaos, then maybe that might be useful. Although it did take them a long time to dish out damage to trolls, so yeah. Anyway, looks like they've already done 30% damage to the enemy lord, which is pretty good. Over on the right flank, we have moved in our first units of Hobgob Ravagers, of course, and we know that they would take heavy damage if they were to directly fight the Boar Boys and the Pump Wagons here, so we immediately use our first use of Armor of Contempt, giving them a massive buff of the melee defense plus 30 and armor plus 30 as well. 105 armor, 78 melee defense, and at least while they have it, they should have no problem facing off against the Boar Boys. Especially since they are much smaller models, it does look like several of them are able to attack at once at the Boar Boys that are sort of out of formation a little bit, which should work out fairly well for us. That said, we can't be fighting Black Orcs. That is definitely not going to happen, so we'll move away as soon as they move in to reinforce, but that's alright. The Hobhound Ravagers will back up together with the Khans. Our our units of Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders with range, with bows rather, have gone around the enemy army and are heading directly for the rock lobbers, which have been annoying our main line, and our piles of reinforcing Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders have arrived as well. 4 units of Hobgob Ravagers, or Hobhound Ravagers, I guess, leading a bunch of the Wolf Raiders with bows. Now, originally this army was meant to act as A, reinforcing army, and B, as a sort of light cav, annoy the enemy to death army. Or kite the enemy through the entire battlefield, but once again, they do work quite nicely as reinforcing units. Anyway, our main line is still holding. Boar boys still making their way forward and smashing into our battle lines of Hobgoblin Cutthroats. I'm still of the opinion that it's probably more effective to have the sneaky gets out here, but that's all right. It'll work out nicely, I'm sure. Alright, and it looks like the boar boys take a few bolts from the bolt throwers to the back, and there we go. There are the dagger throws from the Hobgob Sneaky Gits as well, who have made their way forward. And it looks like that unit of boar boys is pretty much out. Enemy backline is suffering now. We have summoned a unit of Kadai Fireborn on top of the Blackworks that were chasing around our Hobhound Ravagers, and just to make sure that they don't annoy the Ravagers again, while the reinforcing units of Ravagers are now riding through the enemy backline. The lighting is such that it's a little bit hard to tell our units apart, but it's also because it's greenskins facing off against greenskins here, really. Because there isn't a single unit of Chaos Dwarfs on the field. Anyway, looks like the enemy greenskins are not going to be around for too much longer. The bounce power is at about 80% in our favor now. An enemy Blackwork Big Boss attempts to chase the Wolf Raiders around, but they will just get focused down by the arrow spam. Out here, the enemy have failed to breach our lines, and we are moving back to reform, though we have lost about half of the HP on a couple of the units of Cutthroats. Although that's hardly surprising, especially when they're facing off against Blackworks. It's not the best matchup for them. Although I guess there are very few things in the game that would be the best matchup, but, well, that's why it's fun to use these as smaller armies. I do wish we weren't fighting in the shadow like this, as it is a very dark map, but that's alright. We'll have non-dark maps aplenty still, I'm sure. Over on the back line, it looks like the enemy's range units have pretty much all collapsed, with the exception of a couple units that have been held off, with enemy protecting them. And the Wolf Raiders with bows have now joined the fray and into the melee as well. They should certainly be strong enough to fight to the enemy Orc Error Boys or Hobgob or Goblin Archers. Everything's Hobgob now as well. Especially with the Armor of Contempt up on them, which is what enabled them to move in. And just a couple more hits into just a couple more units, and it looks like the enemy army will be booking it on out of there. Hobhound Ravagers, by the looks of it, are doing pretty darn well as well. And a fairly useful unit. Alright, and there we go. The enemy lord gets sniped by our Khans, and Great Khan leading them. Got 4 Khans on field here. Nice little command squad. From 2 armies, I'll grant, but still certainly a fun little thing to do. Obviously, each individual one wouldn't be able to fight any kind of lord or duelist hero, at least without significant skill points or significant item buffs, but together, they do good work. Alrighty, and there we are. One more Wrath of Zharr, a parting shot, if you will, as the battle ends in our favor. Alright, huh. Did we always have 0 money? That was 0? Interesting. Well, either way, I suppose it doesn't matter over much. What does matter is that we get a nice decisive victory for ourselves. After all, quantity is a quality of its own, and we certainly proved that by just sort of overrunning the enemy with our Hobgob troops. Gotta like the sort of numerous basic troop type armies. They're always fun, and you gotta be a lot more careful with them as well, after all. Scarecrow banner, which doesn't really matter for this particular army, and otherwise we are good to go. Oh, they were completely destroyed. That's a question, because it's a tower, right? So either we don't occupy it at tier 5 and only occupy it at tier 3, or we raise it and reoccupy it after. I guess we'll raise it. It's a little bit of extra raw materials, and we have to wait until this is up and running anyway, so raise it is. Alright, unfortunately that means these guys won't heal here, but it is what it is as well. Alright, let's see if anybody else is going to attack us. Ooh, Soiree of Sorcery destroyed. That's kind of interesting. They were being attacked by Thorek as well as the Bretonnians out here, these guys, who now surprisingly want a non-aggression pact rather than that, but I guess we're a big enough faction that they should be terrified of us turning upon them. And we'll ignore this for now, even though the idea of getting some Bretonnian units does kind of amuse me. There isn't really anything that we would probably be able to get from them before we run out of time, in the sense that we'd still need to acquire allegiance points and all that sort of stuff. Plus they'll hate all the Chaos factions, which kind of doesn't work for us. Military alliance with the Dolgan Norska, also not super needed for us, and probably the same thing out of the USAC. And just ignore it. And I don't know who you are, but we're definitely not going to bother allying with Chaos Dwarfs because for some reason game design has made it completely pointless. Alrighty, and there we are. Cult of Morgrim, and hello, what do we have here? Take the Ogre's Assistance, 1,000 gold for another Man-Eater unit for one of our basic convoys. Yeah, we'll take it. Faction destroyed. We're expanding Constructor, Constructor Master, Mason, Creator, Constructor, Cunctator, Scarecrow Banner, Charmed Shield. Okay, you don't need that. And what else do we have here? Ready for duty, middle manager, Stormbreaker. Good. Living metal up and running, so our hobgobs are now more powerful. Could have used that in this battle, but all good. 2 more laborers, Talisman of Endurance, nice. And another Dark Mace, also a nice pickup as well. Finally, that Quartermaster working for us. We have our next tech coming up, which is going to be the... Oh, this was called Hobgoblin Quartermaster. Living Metal is next, but anyway. Yeah, going all the way through the Beasts of Zharr to buff up our monstrous units. What we do have now is, let's see, 681 Conclave Influence. There are 2 towers that we left. There was this one, and I guess the one that we just raised. Barring any additional ones that we get over the next couple of turns, I imagine there is a couple of towers here, but it might be better to just raise them and stick around. Now, before we start moving, let's figure out those campaign objectives, shall we? So, other than... Well, I mean, this is the obvious one, Goldtooth and Knights of Caledor. We need to figure out where we need to go to unlock the final battle. So this one is very close, and we'll probably do it shortly. Oh, and in fact... Huh, Rogni's somewhat healing again, but yeah, we're probably gonna just replace him. But anyway, poor guy. Oh, well. I mean, we could... Middle Manager Stormbreaker is back up and running, so we could get him to do it. I mean, it's still a promotion as compared to leading a pile of hobgobs, that we can't deny. Don't particularly like either of these pelt shamans, either for the army that we're going to make, and also they're still so ludicrously expensive. But anyway, we were taking a look at the drill stuff. So this one should be easily acquirable because it's right beside us. This one is where Astrogoth is headed to. It's these 3 that are going to be taking a while. Silver Pinnacle is a fair distance away, and it's probably something Zatan can start heading towards, as... yeah, he's the closest main stack. This Major Ancestor, or Ancestor Relic of Grunny, which is actually the best one because it's insane. Construction cost -25 for all buildings, raw materials -25, and workload requirement -15% in raw materials, but it's also pretty much the furthest away from our main stacks. Frankly, maybe I should have just ignored everything down here with a Drazhoath and just headed directly towards this through Grimgor's territory, but, you know. And then this one is kind of an annoying place, but it's also kind of on the way to the other one, so it should be okay for Drazhoath. I guess if we leave the rest of Imric's territories to somebody other than Drazhoath, like help finish off, not in a good way, Malice, and then head up this way. And that'll save us a little bit of time in doing that, so I think that's what we'll do. Anyway, and 85% efficiency, what happened here? I'll take a look at the control afterwards. Okay, so I think these are new provinces. Market District, Blasted District, and Falls District. 255, eh? Were we making those into outposts? There's starting to be too many districts now. And I don't remember which ones those were. Oh, Falls District is this one, which is, yeah, it's fine as it is. Market District is, yeah, fine as it is. Okay, I'm just going to assume that they're fine as they are. They're all fine as they are. Alrighty, let's make sure that we destroy the rest of this stuff worked occupied for now. Oh. Well, yeah, we'll take this tower up first, assuming that these Chaos Dwarfs won't be close enough to claim this. We only need one turn to claim it after all, so that should be fine. So we'll start with you. Just because we can colonize this as tower, and then we can immediately go into Masterful Architects, and then we can immediately get this guy to go away. Wait. He probably has a minor construction reduction, so we'll build the ziggurat tenements, the donation barrel for the cash, the patrol routes, because always, and then obviously the demon smithy. I guess we could start on that next term. Doesn't really matter. And the lava fields as well, I guess. And then we'll see what else we need. We don't need the incinerator here. We do want the Temple of Hashut, but at 5.6k, it's an insanely costly building. Now you can go. Alrighty, and that's a little bit less cash wasted on you. Anyway, Drazh, let's start from the top. Let's get everybody moving where they need to go. Looks like you can reach... Wow, you can move far. Oh, because of all the tier 5s we've reached, we've started to gain the campaign movement range plus 1% for armies in own territory. So as long as we start the turn in our own territory, between that and a little bit of help from the patrol routes, and we can basically move at march speed range. Which is pretty solid. Anyway, go grab Dramaliel's Landing and the Market Surveyor. Steal tech from that real quick. Alex, oh, okay, or fail at stealing tech from that. How dare you. Alright, Drazh, hit that, please. And obviously auto-resolve. And we are occupying this entire place as factories because it's a coast... Well, actually, not really, but anyway. Yeah, you can then go into Masterful Architects and we'll wait on the buildings until next turn. Lovely. Malice is almost done for. Gordas, led by Gorazin. You can grab the Mysterious Sun. Ha, we probably could have moved further if we had stayed at the tidal flats, but oh well, all good. Alright, and then go for Mushrooms 2. Yes. Ah, Mathland's Blessing. Swell. Now, out of curiosity, Nabwa, can you reach... Ah, you can get all the way to Bajarak's Last Stand. Fantastic. The Blazing Beards will be happy about this. Too bad they were not on this particular army, but it's all good. And we will... it'll probably damage us heavily, but we'll probably just auto-resolve it because this doesn't need to be fought. You can also move in, can't you? You can, but only in March Stance, most likely. Alright, fair enough. March Stance it is, and just out of curiosity, if you go into March Stance... Nah, you can't reach it. Alright, fine, and go past this and try to get to Bitter Bay. Why do they move like that? Why does it go like this rather than as a straight line? Is this actually the shorter distance? I don't know. Maybe. I'll just go. Just do it. Doesn't really matter. I guess if there's an island over here, then you will at least have spotted it, so there's a benefit to that as well. Alright, now there's another island here. Damn, lots of islands on this coastline, probably none with materials at sea, because I think you can't get those from the mysterious islands. Anyway, Kuntij, the little bit of a question with what to do with you. Your problem is that you need a retrofit, and you're also quite far from the enemies. Might the closest place, the best thing that you might do is actually to move this way. Yeah, go up the river. Actually, no, I lied. We need to be in our own territory. We'll move faster that way. In fact, considerably faster. So just do that, and then I guess try to get your retrofit from here. By the time he arrives, we'll try to get his units there. Okay, nothing changed. I just wanted to see whether he'd moved back to 1%. Alright, why are you in March Stance? I think you don't need to be in March Stance anymore because that was going to bother me. Anyway, Vrogny Skarugs, you could attempt this. We can't see what we have here. We do want that corrupted Slaves of Valaya, though, and this army is a good choice to try to fight it. I could give it a shot. I do wish that we could see what kind of stuff was in this particular battle to see whether this army would be up for it, but, well. Yeah, I think we're going to have... We can always get another Bellicose Lord to lead this army as well. I just want to see what levels can we get the Overseers up and running. So, not counting Middle Manager Stormbreaker, since he's getting the promotion to lead the Elite Army. We can do you, Nabonidus Cindrabeard, level 13, which is basically the same as you anyway. And just out of curiosity, so we have 2 lords here. This guy's a level 12 Bellicose guy, so we could give him the super elite infantry forces. At least this way, Stormbreaker would be able to fight the Major Ancestor Relic of Valaya battle, which would probably have a higher prestige value anyway. Alright, sorry, Vrogny, I love you, man, but you're broken. I don't know why it is, but it just is. So, Middle Manager Stormbreaker, you're in for this. We will level you up, and we will do so by Adjutant and into Armorer. Bird Marcher, obviously we want Black Shard, Bulwark, and Firing Drills for all of the blunderbusses in here. Frankly, we have enough Oh, right, you're also waiting for more artillery pieces. Belser Highcart's gonna take a little bit of time to get to you, though. I'm just gonna hope that the one should be sufficient here, and if it isn't, well, you're going to have to work for your win. Let's go for Rally, obviously not Lucky Lackeys, but Marshaled Military, and Bloodied Bombardment into Stand or Die. We don't need Wretched Warhost in this army, and frankly, we don't have a lot of rank 7s to take well, yeah. Anyway, you do want Tyrant, but I think since you will have artillery pieces, we'll probably still want Hellforged Ordnance. An extra 5% range, eh? That's not much, admittedly. I'm almost tempted to say maybe Headdress of Zharr might actually be more valuable to us here, because once again, we don't know what we're going to encounter, and you know what? Get Unyielding Command, maybe. I get the additional ammunition. Who knows? Who knows? Alright, ancillaries. I don't remember what ancillary you already have. Oh, right, you already have items. Oh, good. I don't have to redo that. What items do you actually need? Razor Standard for the Blazing Beards of Bajorak. We will want a War Banner on you because you will eventually have a train. Banner of Eternal Flame. I'm thinking not. Because we don't know if we're going to run into a bunch of fire-resistant regular dwarfs there. And that seems like a dangerous thing to do. And I think that's about it for now. Alright, I'm excited about this fight, so let's jump. Oh, you need levels as well. Come on, man, you're interrupting the fun. Gun sight, I guess? None of this really matters because you don't have Infernal Guard in this particular army. Oh, you know what? Let's go buff up at least a couple of you. It's not like your range matters because these guys don't do much damage at range anyway. Alright, the Relic of Valaya. Let's do it. Let's see what we're looking at here. Alrighty, and it's ogres. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Although they do have reinforcements, but I was most definitely expecting dwarfs, not ogres. Alright, fair enough. War Banner on one of the Iron Demons, with the Thomas of the Demon Engine. I'm very wary of the Iron Blasters. They are a scary, scary unit, and frankly the Lead Belchers as well. Frankly, all of that is going to be a problem for this army because they outrange us. Alright, well, Terrestrial Comets, you have your work cut out for you. Let's see if you can pull it off. Go. Alrighty, here we go, loving the non-dark map here. The Blazing Beards of Bajorak, I suppose, would be very visible regardless of whether it is a light map or not, those fiery beards of theirs, but the rest of our army, like the Granite Guard, deserve to be seen because of their fantastic color scheme and getup. I love the sort of black and bronze, I guess, thing going on, a little bit darker than bronze, but I'm not sure what else to call it. Maybe granite, but anyway, and the sort of Infernal Guard look on the blunderbusses. But anyway, here we go. We've got 3 victory locations. I'm not entirely sure why, as the quest objective here for this particular battle doesn't actually say anything about them. They're on the map, but doesn't say capture them. It just says kill the Slaughtermaster. And there's also reinforcements that are supposed to arrive. So we shall see. Now the biggest threats on the field are the 2 units of Iron Blasters. They are scary very incredibly scary artillery pieces, in part because of their insane mobility, so they'll be the target. Fortunately, at a distance, and with hills protecting us as well as the barrier, we should be pretty okay to dodge the enemy's shots, whereas our Death Shriekers can simply fire over same said hills as they're going to be the target. We could have also summoned the Kadai Fireborn on top of them, but we'll let the artillery shoot it out a little bit. Now, the Ogres are heading towards us, and that means the Lead Belchers will be in range very shortly. Ooh, looks like the units of Mournfangs crash through our melee line and move right into our blunderbusses. Well done to the AI from doing that. We were just about to head up on top of this hill, which is where the blunderbusses were able to set up. We're planning, rather, to set up, but the AI rushed us before we could do that, which means backing up the blunderbusses and allowing the Chaos Dwarf Warriors to fight instead. Fortunately, we do have our Lord in the center of things, and he can apply the defensive buffs. Armor of Contempt combined with Stand or Die, giving everybody insane melee defense and a little bit of extra armor, so that when we inevitably hit our own units with the supporting blunderbuss fire, they don't take nearly as much damage. We do pop the Ash Storm on the enemy, though this particular army doesn't really do fire damage, but it is additional speed reduction. And every time I see it, I'm happy about it because it just makes battles look more cinematic. Anyway, looks like the second and the last Iron Blaster will get hit with a couple more Demolisher rockets, and this is pretty much an ideal target for them. And so, said Iron Blaster will get demolished. Lovely. Definitely enjoying the Death Shriekers a lot more than I did when I first encountered them in Vanilla, so pretty happy with them in SFO. Anyway, it looks like the balance of power has shifted to about 70% in our favor, but the reinforcements aren't here yet, and we don't know what's coming. Although, I think I recognize this map, and I think I know what's coming because of it. Because I think the Ogres have a... Or is it the Ogres, or is it the regular Dwarfs? I don't know. I've seen this map before with a quest. And yes, indeed, that quest, I think, yeah, this is, there's another quest that uses this, but that quest involves the Snowhorn of Morn, which moves out of that cave, and it has always been a pretty darn fantastic model. It's also got 15,000 HP and 50% missile resistance, so I don't know whether we can bring it down before it gets to our very much engaged battle lines. As we can see, some of our blunderbusses took about 30 or 40% of their HP when they got charged by the Mournfangs as they moved through our battle lines. But now, as the Ogres attempt to back off, the blunderbusses are gunning them down, and we are attempting to reform the line. That said, we are still being focused down by the enemy Lead Belchers, who, if we can get an Ogre ally, I would love to get some Lead Belchers in our own armies, because they would work nicely with them. Anyway, the Snowhorn of Morn has arrived, and oh, look at how it sends all those blazing beards of Bajorak flying. It is getting focused down, but its HP is dropping very, very slowly compared to what we're used to. It's gonna take a heck of a lot of fire to bring the Snowhorn down, but it's such a fantastic model, I'm not even mad about it. Fortunately, its speed is basically nothing. 7 speed, the combination of the Flash Bomb and Suppression from the... Actually, who hit it with Suppress? I'm not even sure. Oh, the Granite Guard have Suppress on them. Frankly, all of our units of blunderbusses will once we apply the buff to the range units, but anyway, that will prevent this thing from going anywhere, at least for the 30 seconds, while the Flash Bomb is up, and that means Demolisher rockets hitting it in the back, and it also means that it's stuck and getting hit by all those blunderbusses. There we go. And not only the blunderbusses, of course, we also got to remember that we have Quarrelers in this particular army from the mod that added them. Still feels a little bit weird to have Chaos Dwarf crossbows, but once again, just like the Slayers, I've made my peace with it. They existed in the old lore, even if they didn't exist, even if they don't exist in their current lore. Anyway, the Snowhorn of Morn was only the leader of the reinforcements, as there are plenty more things to take care of. Looks like a bunch of Gorgers, several units of them, move in together with the Saber Tusks. Looks like a sort of wild pile of reinforcements. And there are other Saber-tusks running around all over the battlefield as well, trying to chase our other units down. Fortunately, we have been able to keep our blunderbusses relatively safe after those few charges, our first few charges. We are also able to distract the enemy Leadbelchers. One of our units of Chaos Dwarf Warriors, specifically the Corporate Hatchet Dwarfs, have managed to move in and are just engaging them so that they don't fire. One of our summoned Feral Wyverns did the same. I think our second summoned Wyvern did the same, and then Thomas, the Demon Engine, and the other Iron Demon were sort of riding around in the back, trying to annoy those Leadbelchers as best they could. There we go, some very nice hits from the Demolisher rockets, bring down the Fire Belly, who unfortunately was overwhelmed by fire at last. Huh. Accidental Renaissance. I mean, it's an appropriate death for a fire belly, right? And there we go, and it slowly peters out the flame. I mean, very nice. Too bad the sort of glow in there in the fire belly's eyes and mouth doesn't go dark together with this, but that was pretty cool, actually. I love it. Anyway, some more Leadbelchers are moving in, but they've closed the distance too much in terms of trying to get away from our Wyvern and the Iron Demons, and have thus gotten close enough for the blunderbusses to fire right back at them. Our line has reformed, and while the Gorgers are still fighting, it looks like the Gorgers are the last thing on the field between the Lamassu riding Overseer and the Chaos Dwarf Warriors, and a couple of blunderbusses who are once again forced into melee. The battle is at last ours. Lovely. Heroic victory for us. We certainly took damage, and we did have to work for the victory. Sad we couldn't have Rogni at the helm of his original army, but that's alright. You know, it happens. I still don't know what the heck happened to Vrogny in particular, but Stormbreaker got a promotion, so I'm sure he is happy not having to deal with hobgobs constantly. Certainly a lot more prestige to it. Alright, a pretty darn fun fight, though. I do think that a couple more of those Death Shriekers really would have helped deal with the enemy there, especially those Leadbelchers. Fortunately, the two Wyverns that we were able to summon from our two Lamassu riders were able to bail us out in that regard, so it wasn't too bad, though it could have been. Anyway, we are looking pretty okay, I'm gonna say. I mean, if we attack Goldtooth immediately, we probably could. 3.5k, yeah, I still need a ton of cash. I mean, it's not like we're that damaged. Yeah, let's ransom captives. And more importantly, that's another ancestor relic, and the control means we will go for this one. Rush construction labor cost, immunity to attrition is nice as well, but it's the control we really want. Though don't get me wrong, this is a really, really nice relic. Melee defense and physical resistance 10 for the army, plus replenishment in foreign territory. But we're going to use this for the drill, rather. Let's give this a read before we do, though. To the victor, the spoils. The healing salve of Valaya is now under our control. A powerful artifact the Dawi will despair to see in our possession. If we wanted to twist the knife a little further, we could parade the relic through Zharr Nagrund, a shining symbol of our superiority. However, if corrupted by our demon smiths and used to power the great drill, the blood of Hushit would be ever nearer our grasp. Use for the drill.
The third demon lends brutal strength to the engines of the drill. Yet, as this vile spirit writhes in the final throes of freedom, it spits out a message of mockery. This bitter prophecy forecasts the union of the mountain realms. That a mighty army amasses to right the grudge that burns on the pages of the Damas Kron, for the desecration of their holy relics.
Oh, it looks like the OG dwarfs are getting spaghetti about something, but, well, that's their problem, at least for now. Though soon, I imagine it will be ours. Garth the Fabricator. This faction is dead, is it not? Meaning we don't care about you. Oh, and also meaning because it's dead, you can't run. And you can't run means we should be able to... Oh, are you... Oh, no, we can reach you. Nice. Vrogny, I would like you to leech some of the XP. You've been around with us for a while, so we may want to keep you around. Also, just to double check... Yeah, Middle Manager Stormbreaker's HP is fine. What the heck happened to the first Vrogny? Maybe it was a there can only be one situation because he was Vrogny the Grey is Vrogny, and yeah. Anyway, let's kill off Garth the Fabricator, thereby destroying this little Skaven faction and preparing for war against Goldtooth. Alright, well, auto-resolve. Yeah, it's mostly Skaven slaves. We can auto-resolve that, no problem. Still lose a ton of goblin laborers, but don't we always? And ooh, still plenty of labor. Gotta appreciate the Skaven for that, if nothing else. You don't need the war banner unless I'm mistaken. We save those for armies with trains, mostly. And though, once again, I do like the idea of having one train in every army. Anyway, you will start moving back this way. Vrogny, you, I guess, are stuck where you are. Now... we did want to grab Bury Bone Fort as a... wow, we can't do it this turn either. Man, there's two now. I went a little bit overboard and used too many. It's kind of hard to acquire all the towers that we want, but oh well. Anyway, yeah, you're still on the way. I will think about whether we attack Goldtooth this turn or wait a couple. The thing is, on the one hand, we do want to attack him ASAP. On the other hand, you will still be a fair distance away. I doubt this guy's gonna leave, so you would have the chance to potentially go to our own territory and heal to full before we do. Plus, the Death Shriekers will be able to get a little bit closer. And we do have several armies out here which want to probably move up north. Yeah, you know what, I like that idea. Let's move you as far as we can. Which would be, I guess, over here. We could have you either attack the Great Caravans. So gotta put something else in this army as well, but anyway. Either attack the Great Caravans, or we could have you go for Eyebiter Hold and have Middle Manager Stormbreaker go for North Sentinel, meeting up with Belsaru Hackheart, and then moving on towards Glowing Crater, which is another good option. Yes, Ruinous, good. Let the hate blow through. Anyway, Rykar the Dominator, you... Oh, right, every time I click on this guy... I really need to name a recruiter or something. It's gonna keep confusing me. What do we have in terms of defenses here? So Krongaz has decent defenses. Grintjar does not. Libetosh will have you strike. You can reinforce, but then we can move you southward towards Krongaz shortly. And this should be auto-resolvable with both armies, I imagine. Like so, and like... Go into regular stance. And like so, we would also... want you to be in this army. Yes, you are a little poisoner, so go here. You're supposed to have 4 cons, and you are now just the 1 con short. One con short of a bushel. Anyway, what's the group word for cons? It's probably not bushel of cons, but yeah. Anyway, devastating flanker for Wolf Rider melee units. I do wish it wasn't just melee units, but well, we'll build another one with melee, so why not? I mean, we will need auto-resolve armies at the end of the day, and we got another little poisoner, but that's not the one we want either, though I suppose this army will need cons as well. Though, in fact, depending on how many cons... I mean, I guess we could do... let's just get the little poisoner as well. I was just saying that... we not only need the devastating flanker one here, oh, we also need 2 other ones. Damn. There's a lot of kind of critical ones, and we will also need the Little Skinner for the block missile for 360 degrees, and then we will need the other one. The one that increases block chance, and I don't remember what it was, but I think Gordas has it? Wait, 360 block missiles. Little poisoner. Little poisoner. Wait. I'm not crazy, right? There was another con that we needed. Not the devastating flanker one, but the other one. What are you two? You two are also little poisoners? Yes. What does Gordas have? Huh. Maybe I imagined it. Or maybe I didn't. I don't know. You don't have a hero, though it might be nice to have one for you as well. Well, I'll figure it out as we go. We'll see if one pops up, and then we'll retool as needed. Astragoth, you have places to be, my friend. Though I don't like how these guys are holding on to a landmark. It's not a very It's not a great landmark. +2 power reserve capacity is kind of minimal. And I think for now we'll just ignore it. I'm going to assume that we can't jump right... Oh, we can jump right now. Beautiful. Go here. Lovely. We'll trespass in... Is this a greenskin faction? Withered Eye, greenskins. Yeah, we'll trespass. And Ostrogoth will head for this major ancestor relic of Valaya. Ooh, wait. That's the... It's another major one. Let me just see here. Which we should probably be able to get to next episode. And you give us... some nice stuff, admittedly, but I think we'll take the item for this one, even though it's nothing crazy. Frankly, Slayer for Chaos is kind of meh. Vanguard deployment, though, we might be able to get some use out of this, but anyway, this doesn't give any, like, healing or anything like that. And more importantly, we only have one more space left, and that has to go to the Corrupted Helmet of Grungni, because of the various construction things are just too good. Just too darn good. So we'll have to keep that one. Anyway, what else do we have here? Ostrogoth has moved. Corpsec does not need to move. Oh, actually, do they? I mean, I guess we could... I wonder. Okay, you can't quite reach this, but what you can do is move here. I also have some construction reduction, but we'll deal with it later. You two will attack this, which should be a quick little auto-resolve unless I'm mistaken. Sure, some of you... Oh, wow, the poor Hobhound Ravagers. Oh, right. That's going to keep happening here too. There's too much of an imbalance of melee units to range units, meaning that the game is sending these guys in and auto-resolve and not sending these guys in. Might want to increase, but I kind of wanted that army as it was, because I think it's, there's some potential fun fights to be had with it. I'll think about it. I don't like the fact that they can't auto-resolve. Occupy his outpost, please. And Libertage has seasoned campaigner, Ruby Ring of Ruin. Okay, we don't need that. At least not here. You are next on the menu. And we'll... Do we want to build some stuff now? I guess we'll build the basic things and then we'll deal with it after. You, how far can you move? Ah, if we could occupy this, we would have been able to move you in there and heal up a little bit more, but I guess both of you need healing either way. You go down here. It's not like these guys will survive much longer anyway. Alright, what about Zatan? He and Troop Train are kind of moving over here. Troop Train, go up here. You're going to need to ferry some more troops. Zatan, well, I guess since we've decided where we're sending you, minus the lack of 2 more Iron Demons, which we still have to build you, just go here. Actually, it doesn't matter where you go. We should start constructing those Iron Demons. Wait. It would be 1 turn to construct them via global. It would be 2 turns to construct them via local. We'd pay a little bit more, but I'd frankly rather construct them quicker. Alright, so we'll need 2 more Iron Demons for Zatan. And I think we're going to lose 2 of the regular Dreadquakes, but keep the trained Dreadquakes. His army's a little bit too strong right now. Frankly, it'll probably always be too strong, but Dreadquakes are the ridiculously strong ones, and 2 is more than enough. Let's be real here. We'll put them in another army, because we do want some Dreadquakes somewhere. Oh, I do like that monstrous impact speed reduction. Oh yeah, but again, we have trained Dreadquakes to apply that, assuming that they... Huh, actually, that's an interesting question. Like, we do have this here, but Iron Demon has additional range, so does its Dreadquake Mortar Fire only apply suppressed, or does it also apply Monstrous Impact? I'm gonna have to try to pay attention to that. It's an interesting distinction. Anyway, yeah, okay, so we're going to go into the Hellforge / Manufactory real quick, and then get 2 more War Machine capacities. Oh lord, they're so expensive. And then go for the global recruitment, mostly because I don't feel like redoing that. And get you a couple of Iron Demons. And we need to take a look at the Demon Smiths again. Where the heck are the Iron Demons? Right here. Basically, the idea I wanted was 4 Iron Demons, and then Iron Demon Train, and then 4 Skullcrackers, and then Skullcracker Train. As 2 distinct groups, and then, of course, the Artillery Battery group separately as well. We could do a Demon Smith Castellan, or Infernal Demon Smith and Castellan, rather than a Demon Smith and a Demon Smith. We do have another unethical one as well, and oh wow, we're out of capacity. Okay, well, the unethical one does need to go in here. Didn't you bring another one? There's 2 unethical guys? I do love, yes. You guys. Stubborn. You. You're going in the elite infantry army. And the rest of this is fine, as it is. Might get them some slayers or something, though they're not quite as elite. I'll think about this. Still got some recruitment to do, though. We could still do local. You know, let's temporarily give them... We could give them a couple more Infernal Ironsworn. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 essentially melee units, plus 2 Acolytes of Hashut. Yeah, maybe that's the better way to do it. And then not bother with Slayers or anything at all, and then just do just nothing but Laborers otherwise. Probably the better way to do it. Alright, back into manufactory. I do want this army to be self-sufficient enough, but I also want it to be able to auto-resolve, which is another big issue, with them making armies that are too weak on purpose, or at least too weak at auto-resolving. Anyway, 2 more. And then you can... Oh, did I turn off the recruity thing? No, I didn't. Good job, past Ruinous. You finally didn't screw me. Let's go for 2 more Infernal Ironsworn. And there we go. That's 4 Infernal Ironsworn, 2 Acolytes of Hashut as our entire infantry line, plus the Blood Shrines and the Giants to buff them, and the Infernal Castellans to buff them as well. They'll be in 2 small, distinct melee fighting groups. You can now go back into Masterful Architects, as you won't be needing the recruitment anymore, and I guess you can fill out the army with just some laborers. Should I have done orc laborers? It doesn't really matter which kind of laborers we do. They're mostly there to absorb hits, and frankly, we might not even use them. I just want them there for the army to be maxed out with auto-resolve. I am wondering if there are other buffs we can get. Well, Demon Smiths, but that's a separate issue. Anyway, that's good. Speaking of Demon Smiths, let's take a quick look here. We have Fanatical and Extravagant. Really trying to get Zatan what he wants here. And we only have Manipulative via the Metal guy, which is not what we wanted. Let me take a quick other look here, 1 second. It'll all be worth it once the army comes together. Is extra powder worth having? I mean, just to command the artillery battery, it's a fairly significant damage buff and a little bit of a range buff as well. So I think it's probably worth it for Zatan to command the artillery battery. Plus 1 Demon Smith as well. And then... Yeah, we do have room for it. Alright, fine. We just need to upgrade somewhere capacity as to where, I don't know. But let's keep moving stuff around and then we'll see. Kerf Ironwill, who are you again? Gallus? Who the heck are you? Where are you from? I don't even remember getting you on field, and I certainly don't remember getting a Gallus Infernal Castellan on field, but that's probably better than what we have everywhere else. Let me just see here. We could use you. Armor, it's plus 10 armor, 1 in foreign territory, but it's only for the accompanying lord. Yeah, fine. You know what? Go with Callus. You go join. You join Zatan. It's gonna take a while for you to get there, but I also don't. It doesn't really matter all that much. All right, I'm happy with that. Okay, look down there because I wasn't expecting that unit. Okay, these guys are still here, which is good for us because we don't need to rush the defenses. Looks like they. Don't know where their other army went, but oh, hello. Oh, I'm glad I looked down here. This probably means that Grimgor is looking to declare war on us shortly, which is hardly surprising considering what's happening. So we'll need to be dealing with him. Steel Tech. And is that everything? Let's see, Field Researcher. Okay, we do need to Steel Tech with you as well, sir. Just stick around. Alright, okay. Fine. Fail at stealing tech, if that's what you want to do. Skaven resources, etc. are fine. Have we moved everybody? I was going to auto-resolve this and I didn't. Alright, let's do this. Auto-resolve. Assuming nobody will die. Did Nabos start with 1 HP or did the auto-resolve screw him? Huh. I don't know. Okay, I hope he didn't get the bug. I hope it didn't transfer to Nabua. That would be... No, he's not at 1 HP. He's at 156 HP. Okay, it was just the auto-resolve for some reason screwing him over. Still concerning, but not as concerning. Daventar Stout Troll, Book of Assure, great find. Not for you, but great find. And you can move this way as well, sir. And we capture that factory at tier 2, which is great. Looks like Malice is pretty much done for, and frankly, we could probably leave... leave, assuming that he doesn't pop up, in which case we do want his defeat trade for Drazh, just, you know, for the principle of the thing. Anyway, anybody else need to move this turn, or are we good to go? Who's Tecton Azgorh? Oh, that's this guy. You need to transfer this unethical guy to this guy. And you might actually be commanding this army, because we might not have a choice in the matter, so you just stay here. Assuming we don't finally get the overseer type that we want, but all good. I mean, it's not like we've been super reliant on them, because we never managed to get one. Vrogny. You are heading down probably to fight these ogres, which is kind of an interesting thing. The likelihood that these guys declare war on us. Huh. Well, they don't hate us. How do they feel about this ogre tribe? I don't really care. Alright, Vrogny, come down here and... oh, you know what? Sit in our own territory and then channel for a bit. Actually, no, sit in their territory and channel a bit, because you can increase your mana. You can't reach bubbling pits anyway, so might as well get close to it, but not too close. Get ready for attacking. And since we hadn't moved that guy, there might be others that I had not yet moved. Who do we have next? Gorthy. You, I guess, are returning to Zharr. We frankly don't really need the forces that you currently have, but it is what it is. And I believe that's the last one. We do have a little bit of building, but fortunately we should be able to go through this rather quickly, I imagine. Let's see. Oh, Lord, alright. Let's build stuff up. Weapons workshop for you. You factory back up and running. Let's go for the orchards, and then let's go for the gunsmith here. We were going to upgrade the tower roads. We were going to go for the tithe chamber. And I think we wanted a incinerator here as well. Though it is a little bit odd not to have a Temple of Hashut, we could always delete something else. And frankly, once again, the Temples of Hashut are so insanely expensive. We have the base level incinerator here. I'm tempted to get the second level, though, because they're just, they take so long to build, and I wasn't intending to rush one anyway, so let's just do that. And then the last space was for the Temple of Hashut, which is not going to happen right now. You can be tier 2, you can be tier 2, you can be tier 3, rest of the stuff we'll leave space for. And yeah, we need so many more raw materials. Any new territory we conquer will be of the outpost variety. We clearly need it. I go for the Tusk compound. The rest is fine. Is there anywhere else where we can build money-making things? Because we'll need those. Okay, let's just do Die Maker and Hattery here. Oh, of course. We have nowhere near enough Hatteries. That I can say with certainty. Start upgrading the Tower of Hashut here. Yeah, let's just upgrade the tower. There we go. That maxes out the raw materials. And while we do have a little bit of money, I know exactly where to spend it. We can start upgrading... oh, actually, you know what? Where we'll spend... oh, wow, -5. Okay, wait. Well, this is what we still need to do. Let's take a look at the public order real quick. And it's actually mostly fine. Labor workload. So we'll need to transfer about 300, 300, 300, and you will need the public order bonuses, meaning 900, 1100, 1300, if I did that right. And why are you still losing public order? Ugh, I don't like that. Alright, well, let's find some 1500 to spare, let's say like so. Fortunately, we've been pretty good about this, and we do got a little bit of surplus. There we go, 1500, that was easy. Or at least quicker than I was expecting it to be. 300, 300, 300. And then you two need to be rushed, like so. And... did I miscount that? Oh, right, we need bonus like that. Yes? Alright, just do an extra one, I don't know. My math ain't so great. Alrighty, that is good. Then you will need to be public order. Set an example. Plus 20, -3. Okay, set an example, and just to double check it real quick. Okay, -5, but we already have events up and running, so we're already getting the public order here. The rest of this is fine as well. And yeah, looks like our public order problems are, if not quite solved, certainly getting there, especially now that we have that control +3. And frankly, the immunity to attrition is also real nice. Skip, outpost, convoy disp. Oh, don't want to forget that. Create new convoy. Every turn, I guess we are still sending one of the convoys to the closest thing just to increase our tariffs, and armaments for labor? Yeah, sure, why not? Go for armaments for labor. It's not a lot of labor, but it's probably worth more than 600 armaments to us at this point. Actually, is it? I don't know, but you're going. Good luck. I mean, you don't need luck for this basic stuff. Anyway, there we go. Now we can end the turn, including ignoring the outposts, because we just don't have the allegiance. We do want to double-check missions. Aha, we do have them from Challengers of Khorne. Dolwen. Sure, let's go for Dolwen. And now we can end the turn. Alright, solid. Let's see what we got here. Living metal up and running now, so our bull centaurs have become fairly decently more powerful. That armor was certainly needed, as otherwise their armors are relatively low. Infernal Musician, not anything crazy, but the additional leadership was bound to be at least a little bit helpful to our weaker new armies, as in the goblin laborers and the hobgobs, or just generally laborers and hobgobs. Anyway, we don't have a lot of time. I just want to see if Ostrogoth can reach... No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like we'll have to take 2 turns to get there. Alright, fair enough. Go in... I'm just going to assume that we can reach this, so if you go into an camp stance, you'll at least heal up to full before we reach the place next turn. We should still be able to hit the major ancestor relic in... tunneling stance, I think, or at least I hope. Anyway, Drazhoath, let's see what we got out here. You, Market Surveyor. I see Carestra, I do not see Malice. Which is a bit of a shame, but what can you do? We can reach, by the looks of both of his territories, and while it might be nice to wait for him in theory, I don't think we will. We don't want to be hanging around for too long, especially this Drazh. He's a busy guy. Anyway, you're gonna hit Thundergut's Hold, which is admittedly decently defended, but it should still be auto-resolvable for this army. Nabua has proven his worth against these guys. And Domitash, you can continue reinforcing. We'll delete your army shortly, as there's no need for it. And it's costing us so many Hellforge upgrades for these bolt throwers, admittedly. Frankly, I'm actually surprised that those are affected by it at all. Kind of odd, but anyway. Go for this shipwreck. We can't reach it. It's alright. He'll reach it next turn. And then do we have a tower here? Because we do got the Conclave Influence up and running now. Bitter Bay is a tower, which we could potentially raise. Wait. There were 2 towers that we left. This one, and then this one. So I think we're better off raising Bitter Bay and then getting these 2 back up and running. Well, I guess it depends on if there's anything interesting in it. It's only tier 4. We'd be able to capture it at tier 2. No, it's only tier 3, meaning we'd capture it at tier 2, meaning it's not worth it to not raise it. Alright, fair enough. You go to Bitter Bay real quick. Sorry, Malice, you didn't come up, but that's alright. Not a big deal. The Drazh hits hard enough as it is. We'll auto-resolve this, because, I mean, not against Drazh's army. And then we will... It's only 1,000 raw materials. Maybe the labor is actually worth more? Well, the raw materials is still very hard to get right now. Raise it. Raise and we'll reoccupy it. Opal Amulet, and we're good here. And then Drazh, you can move no further. You can channel, I guess, because you weren't maxed out. Oh, I guess you won't be able to heal this turn. Oh, and you won't be able... Yeah, I screwed up. I just realized, because you won't be able to move at max distance, because it's not our province. Unless... Okay, nobody can land. Darn. Oh well, not a big deal. Nabu will auto-resolve this, and Malice will be done for. Assuming that you can auto-resolve this. Doesn't look like it's killing off Nabua, though it is hurting him. Talisman of Endurance, not a bad pickup. We'll occupy his factory. And that'll probably be the last of the factories unless we find, provinces that are specialized specifically for factories. Alright, it looks good. Keep the Talisman of Endurance. Don't bother with the useless Sword of Striking, however. And with that, Hagrief is destroyed. We can use you to grab Bitter Bay, because Nabua will be busy moving to other places. Alright, and that looks good. Then that means we do have the spare Conclave Influence to grab both the Berrybone Fort, which I guess we'll have to do next turn. Well, we could do it with Vrogny, because the cost is the same regardless, unless I'm saying, no, wait. Stay in our own territory so we can get the benefits of it, and then you do the same, please. I'm going to assume that you can reach Berrybone Fort from here, because the bonuses are in our own territory, and then you are supposed to go for, Eyebiter Hold, and then you are supposed to go here. Alright, so one more turn. And you're going to be able to go for it. Alright, so you're going to go here right at the edge of our own territory. Ah, Greasy! Alright, so maybe we'll start by going after Greasy with this army. Give the middle manager Stormbreaker some more fun stuff to do. Thomas and Thomas. You're going in a different army. Trade for the Death Shriekers. And then you can also bring him a train, because he deserves a train in this army. But the Death Shriekers are the much-needed long range, because the blunderbusses are short. Anyway, you are going to channel. You're going to go right to the edge of this. Get ready to hit Eyebiter Hold. You will hit either North Sentinel or directly for Greasus, and then you will go for Rockguts Camp. Alright, we are kind of out of time. I was hoping to do another... Okay, Kuntish, keep going southward. I'm about to do another battle. See if we can't find one. I want to do one more sort of proper fight before we end this particular episode. Zatan, you were going to grab those trains, so go for it. And keep on moving, at least until you get the heroes that you're still missing. Okay, trains for Zatan, or Iron Demons for Zatan, anyway. And keep moving this way. You are going to go find an Ancestor Relic. Oh, I should have traded your Dreadquakes away, sorry. Lose the Dreadquakes. The regulars, not the trains. You Dreadquake and you Dreadquake. We'll put you somewhere else. Somewhere nice. Another little Skinner, which is another missile block chance, which is... Wait, damn it. Do we need you here? Okay, we have the little Backstabber for the devastating flanker. You have a little Poisoner. I guess we could do... Yeah, we'll do the little Skinner. Like so. We have the money, after all. And Demonsmith Sorcerer. You gotta be kidding me. There's 2 metal ones with manipulative now. I really want another death one with another manipulative, but at the very least we absolutely need one with fire, because the buff towards the artillery pieces is really, really strong, frankly. And one with Hush'd would be nice as well. You know what? I guess what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the extravagant fire one. Because, I mean, Zatan does want another one of these guys, and then 1920, meaning if we keep the army in its current state, that'll be just that guy, and then the Castellan, which I gotta remember not to forget to... Yeah, good job, Ruinous. To send these guys that way. He can meet up with Zatan right here somewhere, as we are heading for the Ancestor Relic. Alright, these guys aren't looking like they're going to have a fight to this particular turn. Let us occupy this place. We could use it to heal. Or, what do we have in terms of defenses here? They're decent. You know what? You guys are going to have to heal up. So you go here, heal decently. You guys go here, heal decently. Frankly, Zatan can take care of this without trouble either. And then you can take this tower. Colonize this tower. Lovely, and then obviously we can go into Masterful Architects here, and I'll deal with the building that between the episodes. Alrighty, what else do we have? In terms of moving, Gorthy, you're headed here. We'll give you an army, but for now you're good as you are. Who's next? Alright, Vrogny Unzalad. You are going to attack something here, but frankly this place isn't defended, and it's probably a fight that'll have to do between the episodes anyway. Let's just move you past it. I want to see if we can find their main stack somewhere around here. Molglissar, Dracula, you're fine as you are because you're healing. And okay, I think we aren't likely to spot a battle this turn. Oh, well, that isn't that a shame. I'm not being sarcastic, it's genuinely a shame. But what we can do, I guess, is end the turn and hope for another one. And so let's do that. Alright, you are going to move into this army. Alright, now you have 2 unethical Infernal Castellans to fight with the melee elites, and then this army is nearly complete. We're actually only going to use 2 blood shrines, not the 1. But 2 blood shrines, not 4. The other 2 are going for a different army, as I did want a... I wanted to see what heights we could take the Zealot Berserkers to. The rest of this, we'll still need to steal tech before we end the turn, however, so we will still do so. Oh. Wait. Was Great Caravans always owned by the Chaos Dwarfs here? Maybe it were. Maybe they were. I assumed they were owned by Goldtooth, but I guess it ultimately matters not at all. There you go for Fractured Fang, and very nice. You're actually succeeding at stealing. Alright, and I think we're good. Alright, since I'm looking for a battle right now, I'm just going to end the turn. We have money to spend. We have raw materials to spend. I'll just deal with it next time. Oh, wait. We have one more tower, don't we? Not this one. It was one of these. Wait. Oh, I guess it's next turn anyway. Alright, fine. Skip, building upgrades, outpost, silver's not moved, outpost upgrade, and end the turn. I wonder if you'll be able to reach Greasy over the next turn. You are starting in our own territory. Without patrol routes, admittedly, because the rocket test site isn't a tower, but who knows? Alrighty, there's the end turn, ready for duty. Alright, everybody's ready for duty today. And hey, perfect vigor for Bull Centaur renders. All of these buffs for the Bull Centaur renders will be nice if we can... is it just out of range? I can't quite tell. It should be in range in tunneling stance. I'm not 100% sure. Huh, this army cannot attack in its current stance, so maybe it can't. Darn. Alright, well, let's hope that this, in fact, can just reach it, though it looks like it's just out of range. I thought you could do quests in tunneling stance. I could be wrong, though. Right-click to trigger quest, eh? Alright, well, let's... If we can't quite reach it that way... Okay, combat completed, great. Units. Unit capacity for Infernal Guard and Kadai Fireborn. We still do intend to build another Kadai army. Let's try it by jumping... Oh, you can't... You just can't jump into it. Darn. Oh! Wait, did I... Oh, no, I clicked it instead of... Ah, for the love of... Alright, one second. We'll get a bit. I'm not ending this episode until we get another fight. I just want to see what Ostrogoth is missing. I think it's time, though he does still have points to put in all of his spells, to move into buffs for those Bull Centaur renders. The rest of you guys have 1 or 2 points, and I think I'll just apply those between the episodes. Give this a try. No, you can't jump to it. Darn. Alright, well... Just try to get as close to it as you can. I guess we'll have to save this battle for next episode. He's so close. I guess I should have stopped to heal, but oh well. What can you do now? Where are we going to find a battle? Okay, what about Greasy? Are you close enough to reach him? Please tell me that you are. You are not. Alright, you are close enough to reach North Sentinel, but there's barely any defenses there. What about here? Eyebiter Hold. You got some... Nothing crazy, but this army is also not a full stack. In fact, it's more like a half stack with a few laborers. Rockguts Camp, not really our concern. Yeah, it looks like that might be the only option for the fight, and I'm not really willing to end the turn without spending the rest of our stuff, which I will do between the episodes. Defenses here are pretty decent, but frankly... What about here? Krongaz! You know what? This might be the more fun option. Let's do another Zatan run, shall we? Since those ogres aren't gonna be super obliging. Assuming neither of you two can reach this guy? No, it looks like you can't. Alright, Zatan, let's do you. A little bit more artillery fun. He hasn't had the chance to fight against a minor settlement, so this is the fight. Go. Alrighty, here we go. Zatan sounds pretty darn happy, and I'm sure his overseer is pretty darn happy as well, as he has his machine swarm ready to go. Now that we have 4 skullcrackers and 4 iron demons, it should be pretty fun. I do enjoy using those units. Plus we got 2 trains, but I don't want any more because they're already just insanely strong. At least the iron demons and the skullcrackers are only tier 3 units, and they're available from pretty much the very start of the game, whereas the trains you have to tech all the way to tier 5 too, so yeah. Alrighty, let's see how they do. The Iron Demons and the Skullcrackers will lead heading up the thoroughfare, probably pretty used to traveling along, as this is a Chaos Dwarf territory and settlement. It's almost like it was built for all of these trains and demon engines to move along like this. I love it. Alrighty, well, away we go to reclaim this territory. I guess for Gorth the Cruel in terms of what Zatan's doing. Anyway, we're going to speed this up a little bit as we head forward. There we go, a couple more Dreadquake shots, and once again, the Dreadquakes are one of those units that really could use that system from Battlefield Gothic where you can select essentially priority targets by clicking on units and then setting how prioritized they are from sort of general fire. I think it's such a good system, and I really think more games need to use it, especially Total War. But the Dreadquakes and things that can fire on their own while you sort of command their other units really could use that sort of thing. But anyway, at the very least with a little bit of control, they'll fire where they should. I don't know what the heck that was supposed to be. Guys, are you trying to fire on this pipe? Oh, there's a couple of units of squig herds that have managed to move away. They're really separated from each other. And oh, those poor little squiggies. Well, they're going to have a bad time of it, especially that one. As soon as they move past the sort of line of sight, they get sniped, and they will get hit by the rockets from overhead as well. Actually, it would be pretty awesome if the pipes were collapsible and artillery hits would eventually collapse the pipe, killing units below them. Might be kind of neat. Alrighty, well, regardless, the rest of our army is getting ready to move in. The artillery is firing away, and we're just nearly there with the Iron Demons and the Skullcrackers. Gonna get a few shots off, and of course we are knocking out the enemy towers while we do this with our flyers. And there we go, and hey, if it isn't the unit of... sorry about the camera work in this one, guys. The pipes and all of the sort of stuff around make the camera sort of jump over them, which is kind of annoying. But what can you do? Anyway, we're going to move the Iron Demons past and allow these Skullcrackers to take care of the squigs. They should have absolutely no problem with them. And yeah, basically they'll charge in, and the squigs lose about half their HP pretty much instantly. Alrighty, and while those guys take care of that, our Iron Demons, as well as our Iron Demon train, will head directly for the enemy army. Obviously, this is better for the Skullcrackers to do, but it's not like these guys can't move right through them and open up a hole in their battle line. There we go, fire away with those carronades and get ready for the Skullcrackers to follow suit. There we go, here come the melee units. Working together, the Dreadquakes, of course, the Dreadquake train sort of leading and sort of supporting. There we are, just gotta make sure that no individual unit gets surrounded, as they are obviously in a dangerous place. The Iron Demons can't be firing too much to the enemy when they're sort of moving, but that's alright. We'll move right past and leave the Skullcrackers in the midst of the enemy pile of units. And the Dreadquakes do seem to like to fire down upon themselves, but fortunately the Dreadquake fire isn't really a threat to our Iron Demons and the like, so that's just fine. And of course we also have our artillery battery providing some decent support all the way from back here. Our Death Shriekers and Hell Cannons in particular, as they have a much easier time than the Magma Cannons do in this particular army. But that's as expected. And frankly, the ability to fire over all these enemies is quite nice here. Anyway, looks like the demon engines are having a grand time ripping the enemy apart here. No problems whatsoever. Ooh, nice shot point blank from the cannonades. And it looks like the battle is already nearly ours. Obviously, this army will be a lot more fun in field battles than it is when the enemy is blobbed up like this and can't go anywhere. But, well, I mean, it's greenskins. They should be made to suffer for their folly of rebelling against their corporate overlords. Alright, just a couple more hits and this battle should be good. The bounce power is just a sliver in the enemy's favor, and frankly I'm surprised that they're still holding. Zatan has killed off the enemy lord, but otherwise there isn't really any need for him to do anything here. Now the trains have this just fine. It's a little bit similar to Bathilda von Sinclair's Black Coach Army in the... Oh, there we go. I love it when they move together like this. In the Vampire and Manfred's campaign, or Vlad campaign, since she's been in both. There we go. Similar but different. Alrighty, but once again, there'll be a lot more fun on the field where the Iron Demons don't sort of charge the enemy blob like this and can do a little bit more fire and move type of action. Anyway, there we are. Battle's hours, just a couple more shots from those cannonades for us, and alright, we don't need to chase the enemy down, though we'll do a little bit for potentially a little bit of extra rewards while we heal up those engines that got a little bit of damage on them, and just because we can. Alright, there we go. I know it's just a minor settlement battle with no garrison, though it is a decent garrison, but no garrisoning army as well. But man, this train stack is pretty darn horrifying, or machine stack, I should say. There may only be 2 trains, but clearly we've seen that it's more than enough. And Earthshaker just slightly beats out World Trembler, rather here. And I gotta remember to name these guys. I have tons of Skullcracker names, so I'll do it next episode. Anyway, nice job to Zatan, and damn nice job to those Dreadquakes. And once again, we can clearly see why we don't need more Dreadquakes in that army. Alright, there we go. I think that was the battle that we were going to fight. So I will call the episode here. Next episode, I'll we'll start off the episode with going after the Major Ancestor Relic of Grimhammer. So a promised big fight as well, which should be pretty darn fun. I will deal with the rest of the admin between the episodes, and then we should be able to start the next episode off with that one, and hopefully start moving on towards these guys and whatever other major ancestor relic battles, I guess, we have otherwise to go, which is, just to keep a little bit of a count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, counting the one that Zatan is going to do. I think this one is just to occupy the Silver Pinnacle, so it doesn't count. So 3 battles, plus if we count the final battle, once we do this, that'll also be in quest battle. So 4 big battles guaranteed, plus we still have to wipe out Goldtooth and whatever else we find around, and hopefully get into a bit of a tussle with Grimgor. Anyway, stay tuned for more Chaos Dwarfs. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.